Well, Julie, joining us for more on all of this is economist Steve Moore. Steve, great to see you. So look, when it comes to the EU, I guess we are seeing the art of the deal in action, right? Trump wasn't happy with the way the talks were progressing, so he says, hey, we're going to slap 50% tariffs on you. The EU says, no, no, no. They have a phone call. Both sides say the call was great. Now Trump's extending the deadline to July. I guess this is how the sausage is made when it comes to these negotiations, right?
Yeah, good morning, Bill, and happy Memorial Day. You took the words right out of my mouth, my friend. It is the art of the deal, and nobody is better at this than Donald J. Trump. And he made this announcement a week ago that he was going to impose these stiff tariffs on the Europeans if they didn't come to the negotiating table. You are exactly right. The president was getting very frustrated with the Europeans that they weren't making a deal, and he slapped this tariff threat on them, and lo and behold, a week later they come to the table and say we're ready to negotiate. So it certainly was an olive branch by the Europeans. Now, of course, they have to negotiate the deal. I'd like to make one point, Bill, which is that the Europeans do impose a lot higher tariffs and non-tariff trade barriers on our goods and services, whether it's our agriculture, our manufactured products, and so on. And so all Trump is, and look, I'm not a big tariff guy, but I do believe that it should be a level playing field. I think that's exactly what Trump is going to get out of the Europeans when they start negotiating.
And here's what Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent said last week when Trump initially made the threat about the 50% tariffs. Take a listen.
I would hope that this would light a fire under the EU. EU has a collective action problem here. It's 27 countries, but they're being represented by this one group in Brussels. So some of the feedback that I've been getting is that the underlying countries don't even know what the EU is negotiating on their behalf.
He said he hoped it would light a fire under the EU. It certainly sounds like it did.
Yeah, and by the way, Scott Bessent, who's turned out to be an incredibly effective Treasury Secretary, said it very well that, you know, you've got 16, 18, 20 of these European Union members. It's a big, big bureaucracy there in the EU. And, you know, my joke is that the only thing the Europeans can agree on is they don't want to pay their NATO dues. But this makes it difficult to make a deal when you've got this, you know, unelected bureaucracy there. But look, Trump, think about this. What was it, 2 or 3 weeks ago, he gets the deal with the UK, with the Brits. And then a week after that, we have a deal, at least on paper, with the Chinese. If he can get the Europeans to agree, he's made incredible progress. Now, the next step, once he gets these trade deals done, so I have to say this as an economist, the other thing we have to do is get that tax bill done. We got to get that on the president's desk by 4th of July. And by the way, what a 4th of July would be if we could have a big bill signing ceremony then. And when those two things happen, Bill, I'm here to tell you this morning on Memorial Day, we're going to see the biggest boom in the U.S. economy you ever saw once the trade deals get done and we get that tax cut signed, sealed, and delivered.
Well, the New York Times is throwing a little bit of cold water on the idea of these tariffs on the EU. If we can pull up their headline here, right? Yeah. Their headline says Trump's EU tariff could cause economic damage beyond Europe. They're saying it would hit the continent hard and also hurt the U.S. economy and slow growth globally. Got about 30 seconds left. Just your thoughts on that headline there.
Well, that would be true, but what they're missing is that Trump is going to get a deal here. It's going to create a level playing field, fairness in trade, which is what Trump is asking for. And when that gets done, we're going to have freer trade, fairer trade, and all countries are going to be better off. I mean, that's what the New York Times is missing. I would never bet against Donald Trump when it comes to negotiating.
Yep, this is certainly a specialty, as you mentioned right off the top, the art of the deal. We will see how these negotiations play out. Great to see you. Thanks for coming on.
Thank you.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.